know the deal. I got that game of the year, game of the year, game of the year, game of the year, of the year, game of the year.
Ladies and gentlemen and NBs, welcome to yet another year ending / year beginning. Oh God, it's a bad time to have to swallow. Welcome back to yet another episode
That's
of
what she
VG
said. Are you fucking kidding? That's how we're kicking this off? Man, you
Kicked it
two,
off. Look, I tried to be professional. Immediately got us in the gutter.
ooh,
And
damn.
soon,
Oh, boy.
back to the Bible.
Yeah, back to the Bible indeed, because we're opening up the book of Revelations because we've had a lot of revelations about the games that came out in 2025, because that's what we're talking about today. Welcome back to VGU.TV's Game of the Year podcast series for 2025. So yeah, here's what you're going to be getting, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to be getting 4 categories each episode. We're going to be talking about our winners of the categories. We're going to be debating the nominees, and we're going to fill things down till we get to 1 winner and 2 runners up. So that's how we're going to play the game. I'm not playing it alone because I, Emmett Watkins Jr., am joined today here by Josh Miller. First off, welcome back, buddy.
My friends, it has been too long. I have missed talking to all of you.
Hell yeah.
Aw.
We've also missed you, buddy. So we're very, very happy to have you.
And this
Hells
is, I say it every year, but this is like always my favorite time to do these podcasts. I love Game of the Year.
Hell yeah. Me too. I love going through all the shit that's happened up to now and reminiscing on what was so good about things. But one of those things that was also very good is Graydon Webb. How you doing, Graydon?
Oh, I love that intro. Thank you. Thank you. It's so good to be here. Someday, I hope that someday we'll do the Game of the Year chat sitting in one room together, but we'll do like 12 hours straight.
Oh my God.
Just
Stream.
the whole thing, marathon it. Hopefully we'll play more than 3 games each that year though. And we'll have something to talk about. This is to preface this Game of the Year discussion, it's gonna be a weird one.
Yes, it will.
Looking at our nominees, there's kind of the same games. Some of the categories write themselves. It's very strange, but I think we'll do a lot of talking about like other games in a weird way. Like I bet there will be a lot of convos about like backlog stuff. But I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this year because you're right. This 2025 year was very weird. It's also a very, very good year in part because of that weirdness. I can use that same description to describe Alan Mir. How you doing, Al?
I'm the NB.
I'm the NB. I like how definitive that sounded.
I'm the NB here. Welcome.
Hell yeah.
I will say, we all of us here have the one thing to say. Fuck generative AI.
Hell
Fuck
yeah.
Microsoft.
Hell yeah.
And yeah.
And melt the ice and/or break
There
it.
it is.
And fuck
Hell
RFK Jr. too while we're at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
How dare you, Gray?
That's what I'm saying. Oh my God. I was literally about to say he sounds like a thin sheet of metal flopping in the wind. I was gonna do my traditional Southern God bless him, but no, not bless him. Fuck him. In any case, we have that's all the hate for the actually there might be some hate later on the episode. But
Well,
the
I was
focus-
actually going to say also,
yes.
4 categories that have for games that have used generative AI out of the only one, like out of the ones we're going to be talking about, the only one that, as far as I know, is Clair Obscur.
Yeah, we can potentially have a
So-
conversation about Clair Obscur when we get there because
Well, if anything,
there's some AI involved.
if anything, that's your disclaimer. That's our disclaimer, as well as this is going to be further down into like further like in advance with the next few episodes of the Game of the Year stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I
I feel like
basically,
Yeah, go ahead.
basically, games put out by Microsoft, for example. I feel we should have a disclaimer as well, just reminding that of all the terrible things they've been doing. So
Oh, absolutely. I fully agree with that. So listeners at home, of course, the disclaimer is more or less, obvious. Like people have been seeing generative AI pop off throughout the year because corporations are pushing it onto us. But on top of that, AI poisons communities in which you build these data centers on, and it is just a machine for plagiarism. So it's not great. There's definitely going to be some disclaimers for for AI being involved in some of these games we talk about today.
it's more of a machine for theft than anything else.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, AI is used for stealing other people's work more than anything else. There's no original ideas in that. But when it comes to Microsoft, there is actually a boycott going on. The BDS movement has been trying to put pressure on Microsoft to stop the aiding of a genocide that they're currently doing. They provide a lot of back-end technology to Israel, and they use that technology to spy on Palestinians and identify targets. And that's not good. So they said, hey, we need to put pressure on them. Let's do a boycott. Well, everyone uses Windows PCs. That's kind of hard to do, but not everyone uses an Xbox. So they've specifically said, hey, boycott Xbox, don't buy their products, don't support their products, and try not to talk about them and give them publicity. So there will be times on this show where Xbox will come up, but even on the previous episodes of the Players Club podcast the last handful of months, I think I have definitely tried to not give them too much shine or at least heavily water down any of the shine that I do give any Microsoft property or IP. We're going to continue that during this show. So you'll hear that from us when we get to a category in which, these things come up where these disclaimers are needed. We will bring them up. But we'll play
And
it by ear as we go on.
can I say though, because we had this discussion.
Right before you say, I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you talk, but I'm gonna swap while you're doing that because I just got home. I've been in the car. I'm
Okay.
breaking kayfabe.
Sure, I'll vamp for you. um, yeah, we had this discussion a few years back with the whole Activision thing, and we were like, should we even bother nominating these games? Especially, I feel like that year there was a lot of talk about Activision Blizzard, and it was a thought. I don't remember why, but with this year, I mean, you're gonna see that one at least one of the games I can think of was a Microsoft first party game that a lot of us played and nominated for things. And
Mhm.
it's tough to avoid things like that sometimes, and we wanted to put this disclaimer and say that we don't approve of any of the stuff that is going on behind the scenes. However, these games are made by some good people and people who deserve to be what's the word? Why am I forgetting?
Recognized.
Recognized. There it is. I was gonna say recommended over and over again. Recognized for their talent and what they did and what they brought to the year. So, yeah, basically, I mean, we'll bring up the disclaimers again as we say, but that is our notice about that.
Yeah, that's. Oh God, sorry. I'm trying to turn on my lights because I just got home. But yeah, I fully agree with that. There, like you just said, there's going to be some categories that are going to have some offending picks on it, and I'm a little bit conflicted how to handle that. What I feel like policy is it's kind of hard for me to be like, hey, this game that I like, that I know people worked on, and that I know didn't get a lot of shine throughout the rest of the year from other people. I want to shine a light on that game and kind of like give it its props because no one really went that hard for it earlier in the year. But at the same time, this boycott is tied into it. So how I'm kind of playing it is now that the new year has started, I plan not to even look in Microsoft's direction for the remainder of the year so that I don't feel pressure to talk about any of their stuff. Like
Yeah, my
it's
Game
to the
Pass
point where
expires in a
even
couple
like
weeks.
they're doing the developer direct in a couple weeks or in a couple days as of recording. I plan not to watch that developer direct just so I don't even like get into then it's just easier to cut it off. And so that's kind of how we're gonna play it here. We'll have some references here and there, but even when some of that stuff comes up, I guarantee you I'm not gonna sit here and be like, here's my massive creed about why I like Gears of War. No. I'm gonna keep it brief.
Josh, did you say your Game Pass expires? Or are you letting it lapse?
Yep, it expires next week. Actually, exactly.
Damn.
And yeah, that'll be it.
Wow.
You know, it's funny because mine did expire in December, but I got my ROG Ally I got repaired. They replaced the motherboard, and I didn't know that replacing the motherboard just got me 3 extra months of Game Pass, and so now it expires in March.
No. Just when you think you're out, they pull you right back in.
Look, I'm not gonna be mad if I can use the I got it for free excuse, but like I also don't want to even have to use that excuse. I'd like to just be done with it. So, you know.
Well, there's
In
still
any
plenty
case,
of
that's where we're at.
non-Microsoft games up on Game Pass. So
True, there are non-Microsoft games up on Game Pass, but I'm just doing what I'm doing now, which is, I mean, I bought a 360 around or not too long ago. I'm getting everything used. Microsoft isn't seeing any of my money.
Yeah, go back to physical media.
Hell yeah, physical media indeed. Hell fucking yeah.
I
I got my
intend to get.
copy.
Oh, go ahead.
I got
ahead.
my copy of The Witcher 2.
The Witcher
almost mint
2.
condition,
I did not
y'all.
expect that to come out your mouth.
Survived Hurricane Sandy. 15 years old.
Ah, is it ironic that that copy is probably not sandy, might actually be wet? This is where I would continue on with the show as if I didn't make that joke, but I just found my headset. Here, give me like 2 more minutes. So, anywho, we got the first category here. I think. Hold up. I don't know if I'm being heard.
I can hear you.
Almost there, guys. Okay. You guys can hear me.
I was going to say that I intend to just steal all of Alan's games. I'm going to go to their house and get every single, because I know it's just a library. I think that Alan was the person that recently like created a GameStop with their physical library. Did you hear about that news story?
No.
Wait, who did that?
Some dude online like he like figured out. Oh shit! I just sped past a cop. Tell me you're not turning. Tell me you're not turning. Literally on the same street that I fucking got pulled over on. Oh no, he's going. I think he's going. My joke is no longer funny.
What you could have done, just whenever you get pulled over, just have it in the back seat. Just have like a Punisher mask and just like have it on.
Yeah, I should do that. And I should definitely record the entire thing. I should be like, this
Don't-
call is being recorded.
Well, for your own safety, record it. But if you want to blend in and be like, "Hey, I'm one of y'all," then don't record it. That's where the
We're
Punisher
starting
mask comes in.
strong. I like it. No, but there was a guy recently that like he like finished his full collection of I think it was 360 games. Like purchased every 360 game that ever existed, and they like now have a full library of them. It's pretty
Too
rad.
many damn games.
I know, especially for like one system. Like that's not even every game of that generation because there were other systems. But like you have every game of one. Like that's so many freaking games, and there's still so many more.
But here's
the
the thing.
360 has a massive backlog.
That could have been me. But if I didn't like just repeatedly get copies, like just if I didn't repeatedly buy copies of WWE12, WWE13, MLB 2K7, MLB 2K8, it would be I if I didn't have that character flaw, who knows where I'd be.
Well, you'd be.
I'd be
Mhm.
the one distributor of the what was it, the Majesco video carts for Game Boy Advance.
God, that's hilarious. Well, hey, I guess sometimes
Try watching Dexter's Laboratory that way. It's
Oh
not
my
fun.
god, I had that fucking thing. It was the gray one. They were gray, and they had all the Cartoon Network. It had like a Courage episode. I think a Foster's Home episode, a Dexter's Lab.
There are multiple. I'm pretty sure that's how Majesco made their scratch.
That was crazy. Fuck your UMD. It was all about that. I had.
Hey,
I
Superbad
wanna
on
say
UMD look crisp as fuck.
Did I have Shrek 2 on Game Boy Advance? Is that a possibility? Was that a thing?
That existed. I watched
The
that
whole
video of
movie?
someone looking at it.
Yeah,
the
the whole
whole movie
movie.
was on cartridge.
Yeah, I think I had that. That's
It was
crazy.
like 280p, but it was on it.
That's a
Yeah, like I had
awful.
Guess Who.
memory.
I had the Guess Who remake on UMD.
Wait. Bernie Mac and Ashton Kutcher, guess who?
Yeah, I had that. That actually, like, my PSP accidentally started while I was in sixth grade watching, like, and that whole thing went off, and I was like, no, it's just like the scene from Star Wars, like, no, everything's fine here. How are you?
Your
trying
PSP
to
started
draw-
playing a movie?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
God. Your PSP had a tick, and it was the entire film of Guess Who.
no, because I had the UMD, like, I had it like the disc, like I had it inside, like in the tray.
It auto played on you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. That's not a tick. I take it back.
I just had
but
10
Kids these
digital
days
episodes.
Don't know how crazy it was.
I was about to say, speaking of taking it back, I'm gonna grab the reins because I finally got set up. So here's what we're gonna do. So we're doing 4 categories, like we said. But before we talk about 2025 and what has popped up and perspired in that year, let's go back and talk about our favorite old games in the first category of the night. What took so long? Games we finally played in 2025. This is where we basically give a big glow and a big shout out to an old game we finally got around to that became one of our favorites in this current year. And
Can
by
I just
current year,
say-
mean last year, because it's the fucking 18th.
I think that you just said what perspired in the year, but you meant transpired. Perspired is to
Absolutely.
sweat.
Yes. This is true. Because trust me, I was sweating when I didn't find my headset when I got in here. So that's what I was doing recently.
All right,
God.
back on the rails. So sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. That's a good catch because I do that a lot where I'm like, I know what this word means, and then I say the wrong fucking word. So anyway, we're gonna each. So this one's gonna be done a little bit differently. Instead of us picking a top 3, we each picked one game because we all play different games. It's kind of unfair for it to be like, hey, what's the best game here? And then I didn't play anything that these guys played. So we all have one game that we kind of want to throw in as our nomination. So first things first, Al, tell us about your.
I will say
what took so long.
I will say before I started this one, I asked Josh, said, "Hey, how addictive is this game?" And Josh, what your response to what was?
I don't remember. All I know is that game was hell of addicting.
Yeah, Stardew Valley, in which I lost, or technically it felt like I felt like I lived a whole different life in 130 hours.
Wow.
Jeez.
That's a long
I did
ass time to
everything.
play Stardew.
I saved the community center. JoJo went extinct. They went bankrupt and left the region. I probably put so many people out of work.
Wow.
My God.
I got a dog named Banjo. Got a wife. Got a daughter. At a certain point, this just sounds like what am I talking? What am I saying?
Did you romance the slime monster?
No.
What this
Dang.
sounds like is like like when you see a friend you haven't talked to in 30 years and they're like, so what's going on with that girl? That girl's gone. I have 5 kids with a different woman. That's what this sounds like. But it's all fucking adventures in Stardew Valley. But yeah, a lot of people love Stardew Valley though.
Yeah, and Concerned Ape's next game, Haunted Chocolatier, is coming out this year. Did not mean for that to rhyme.
I'm excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
As someone that lives Stardew vicariously through my partner, it's very I'm very excited to see what comes after this.
Yeah, how do you follow that up?
Well, it's got combat. haunted chocolatier.
Oh shit.
So does Stardew.
Really?
Yeah, you literally go into the mines and just battle, like just destroy monsters.
Oh
Yeah.
wow!
Yeah, there's like a parry system in Glory Kills. I'm kidding about those, but I do know there's
What?
combat.
Yeah, like you literally go into the mines, get a sword, or you're given a sword, and like there's like a whole sub story going on where you have to get your your task to go as deep like to like the bottommost level of the mine. Then there's the skull caverns, which sounds like something out of Zelda, but surprisingly isn't.
Hmm. Wow.
And I keep wanting to play. I keep wanting to try. Like, 'cause I did this all on Steam Deck,
Hmm. I respect that.
and I think that may be the best the best way I've ever experienced a game.
Damn.
Just
The little the little counter, like the date, like the time counter that says you in the past 2 weeks, or the past week, you spent like 200, or not 200. The past week you spent 25 hours playing Stardew Valley. I was
Can
like,
you imagine 200
what?
hours in a week dying? Good lord. But yeah, no. I mean, look, the Steam Deck has been an incredible console. I know that I hopped off of it for the ROG Ally, but just the idea of like a PC handheld, just that concept is kind of taking the world by storm. I think that was a big defining thing for a lot of us in 2025. And Stardew Valley is just a great example of that, where yeah, it was on Switch and it's great to play there, great to play everywhere. But if you had a PC handheld, especially with mods and stuff, buddy, that's a whole new world. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed
I
it.
mean,
Stardew Valley's a classic.
there's a whole other thing of like that's not technically not mod related, but it's it's like puzzle solving, which is basically just trying to find ways to get old ass games from 20 plus years ago to run on Steam Deck, like Armed and Dangerous
Oh. I'm
or
aware
Clive
of that one.
Barker's Undying.
All these GOG games, trying to get those to run. I mean, I feel like Linux has made enough progress where if it's on Windows, you can more or less run it. Now it's just about running it well.
Yeah, yeah, because depending on like which app you're using on Steam Deck, like if you're not like say what you want about Heroic, but there's another app that just works so much better. Makes you wonder what the whole point of Heroic even is.
Well, I've seen some that like directly integrate into Steam OS, so they show up in your Steam library directly. So those are kind of where I would lean into more nowadays, because I understand fully what you're getting.
That was a segue. That was a
Ah,
segue
damn.
to Josh.
Look, I didn't catch that. Let's talk about the next game here. What took so long, Josh? What's your game?
So mine will be pretty quick because it kind of is the same thing I did last year. So last year I played Final Fantasy IV from the Pixel Remastered Collection, and this year I did Final Fantasy VI, a game I had started playing but never got through the end, and people swear it's the best Final Fantasy game, and I still don't think I agree with that entirely. But I'm happy
How
to finally.
dare you? How dare you talk shame about Kefka, the clown prince of crime? How
I
dare
don't
you?
get it.
How dare you talk about the moment when like he crashes like the moon into the world or something?
Graydon's gonna drive by your house and throw a brick
Duplexing
through
the
the glass
train
like
was
it's from Remember the
great and all,
Titans.
but
She was a
God.
female heroine before that was a thing. How dare you?
Wow.
I don't know. All I know about Final Fantasy VI is from Dissidia.
Before that was a thing, John the Ark did not exist.
He paved the way for Lara Croft.
Okay.
So did
Write a
Mod.
lot of checks. Yeah. Oh my god, don't search that mod. But in any case, yeah, Final Fantasy VI. I mean, you say you don't quite agree that it's the best Final Fantasy, but you had a great time with it. I mean, it's your pick here, so I guess it's still something worth going back for at least.
yeah, it's still really good. And it did what I really wish more like remasters or remakes would do, which is allow cheats in it, which made the whole process so much easier. So being able to just turn on like faster leveling up or God mode or whatever, I can't remember what all the cheats were on there, but it just makes that trek through the world so much easier because, I mean, it's an old RPG. It's not like I'm going to be upset if I don't get the true RPG experience in the battle system, especially since I have technically played the game before. But yeah, it was nice to go through it all. It was great to kind of see it through to the end, since a lot of the love for that game is wrapped up in how that game goes to the end with, the destruction of the world and all that, since not many games at the time had done that. But yeah, I mean, it was still cool to see all the way through, but it's definitely not my favorite.
it more of a novelty than a classic for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I can accept that. But hey, still cool that we're going back this far to play the classics. I feel like a lot of people might be inclined to be like, old games old, but some games are still worth trying out, even when they get up there in age. So I respect that. And speaking of getting up there in age, sometimes when you get old, you might get sleepy.
Oh my god.
That was bad. That was really bad. So you know what? Now we're gonna pitch it over to my dog Graydon, and he's gonna tell us about the
Oh,
I love it. I love it.
I played Pac-Man Museum Remix.
Everyone at home is confused.
Like, I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. I played a little game called Sleeping Dogs, and I feel like I have talked about it on a podcast at one point. I don't know why I did or when I did.
I
Maybe
think on a Players Club you talked about it a little bit.
okay, like when I was playing it. That game grabbed me. And I was trying to think of other games to talk about, but really, like, that might have been my favorite experience of the year. That took a long time for me, and I started playing it because a buddy at work was like, "Oh, I picked up Sleeping Dogs," and it just felt weird to play that now because that game is, I think, like 2013 or something that came out, and
Decade.
No, I want to say it's like I want to say like it had to have been like the early like I think a year. Yeah, early. Yeah.
damn,
Yeah, 2012.
wow.
Yep.
Well, I don't know why I never played it. I had it through like Games with Gold for years ago, and it was like the definitive edition, and I was like, screw it, I'm going to do it. And then it took a hold of me, and this was the year that I also played GTA 4, and that game took a damn long time, and I loathed almost every second of it.
Wow.
I was not a freaking fan of that game. Holy crap.
Me
But
neither, Graydon. You're good.
thank you. But Sleeping Dogs, really, the combat holds up so fun. The driving, I have said it to death. I will keep saying it. It's the most fun driving I have ever had in a video game. Like, hands down. Something about the way that it just flows. You're driving through alleyways, no matter what vehicle you're on, it just works. It's so fun, and the story was not that bad either. So yeah, I mean, nothing. Can't say anything bad about it. The DLCs were pretty fun. I enjoyed getting the collectibles, which is crazy. But yeah, really can't recommend it enough. It's a ton of fun. The only negative to it, which is a fun fuck you Xbox column thing, is all of my games recordings got ended up somewhere somewhere in the ether, and I recorded a lot of clips for that game, like just fun little glitches and just so many things, and all of them are gone. And I will never get them back. So I've already planned to replay the game again at some point,
Wow.
so I can
You're
just
committing to the
shred it.
bit that
I
strongly.
mean,
Yeah, oh
that's
yeah, I'll
I
do
can
it again.
easily. I'll say I can easily say because I fuck with Sleeping Dogs heavy. I love that game. I can easily see that game being similar to like a Far Cry 3 for me, or Far Cry 3. I can turn that on, play through the whole game in a weekend, like automatically, just because
Hmm.
it's fun. Skip all the cutscenes, just run through it because it's fun. I can see you doing that with Sleeping Dogs too, because it's just fun to play.
Yeah, I can just see myself going back to it and like, you know, I feel like everybody's got that just open world sandbox. Like for years it was the Saints Rows, and then like it's probably a lot of people with GTA 5. But like I can
Mhm.
see myself just, oh, you know, I miss this feeling. I just want to jump in. Maybe there's side quests I haven't done, or like dojo challenges or something that I
You
could
got to date
do.
Emma
And
Stone.
I didn't date Emma Stone. No, I did. I did. I went back and I did
Hey,
that. I
there you
did.
go. Easy
Um,
A2.
I heard she was working for Dog Eyes.
Dog eyes.
God, it's all
Wow.
coming back to me. She was the worst romantic person because she was like, "Take pictures of me at the fucking edge of the stupid."
Oh, she
Fuck
was
you,
very
Emma
vain.
Stone. Yeah, she was like, she didn't do anything for me. There were other
Mm.
ones that were more interesting of a relationship, like the karaoke woman. I gotta go back and get all
Ah,
those karaoke challenges.
damn.
Well, I'll see you on next year's Game of the Year list. It'll be Sleeping Dogs again.
It'll be the Sleeping Dog DLC.
I
There
did
you go.
that. I did all
Oh,
that.
oh well, shit. Then damn, you really you're it's just gonna be all the Sleeping Dogs again.
I
Um,
know.
but to
No,
rewind
it's gonna
it
be
back
true
a
crime.
little
It's
bit.
gonna be True Crime Streets of New York.
There
I
you go.
do want to
You
play
Yeah.
just
that
go
now.
backwards in
Yes.
the whole
Don't
process.
play the
And,
Xbox version because there's a game breaking bug in it.
and GTA San Andreas. I'll compare the two.
Oh my god, San Andreas versus Sleeping Dogs. That's insane. Play Chinatown Wars at least. Good god.
I
Um,
didn't like Chinatown Wars.
not a lot of people did. It was on the DS.
I tried.
I,
I tried.
yeah, I mean, at least you tried. At least you tried. But speaking of trying, my game of the "What Took So Long" segment is a game that I tried randomly. And look, I'm be honest, the it wasn't looking optimistic for this game to be good. This is from a studio that made one of the worst games of the previous of what 2 generations ago, I think. Rambo the video game, not a good
Yeah.
game. No one liked it. It was bad. But this was their next outing after that, and I heard a couple of positive buzz here and there, but it wasn't a groundswell of support for it at all. So I was really sticking my neck out trying to see what was up with this game, and this became one of my favorite games of all time. Terminator Resistance. I fucking love this game.
Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in quite some time.
Yeah.
But
I
Alan
I
has.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just I own that game on just about every platform.
Why the fuck do you own it on multiple platforms? Have you played it?
Preservation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thing
If you
is,
played it,
it's
I can't talk shit.
I bought it when it came out PC. Then I bought it on Xbox like later, like a couple of years later. Then I saw it, or not saw it. After I saw Terminator, like the most recent time, I bought it on PS5.
Wow. That's dedication. I respect it, though you are crazy for that.
No, because I it did not
It's the
have
multiple
like on
platforms thing.
no it's well yeah like it on Xbox it had yet to be like upgraded to like next gen stuff. So
Ah,
on PS5, it was technically the only way I can play it in really good resolution on that.
mm, I
And
understand.
also, the DLC was included in the version I bought on PS5. So
Hmm. That's the one I bought as well. So I'm right there with you. And funny thing about the resolution. So here's the weird thing about Terminator Resistance. I like this game because it,
it
in a
doesn't look
lot of
good.
ways, not just because it doesn't look good. It is what it looks like. It looks like a PlayStation 3 generation style shooter where it's very generic, and it absolutely is generic in that way. It is it's a first person shooter. It is a Terminator franchise, so you start with the regular weapons, eventually you get up to laser guns and plasma guns and stuff like that. The type of stuff you saw in like the future sequences in the Terminator movies. You eventually work up to that, but you start at the bottom and work your way up. Like for half the game, you can't do damage to a T-1000 at all. You can't shoot any of those robots. So it's very, oh God, one of these is around. I have to stealth around because I'm going to die in one hit if they see me. That is what half the game is. So you have to work up to that type of power level, but you're still playing with, you know, RPG elements you've seen. You're leveling up, you're unlocking perks, you're unlocking the ability to like lockpick things and use different abilities. There's like a hacking mini game so you can sneak up on certain turrets and whatnot and hack them over to your side. There's like a perk system where you can pick up random different chipsets and then add them to your weapons, and they give you like bigger damage or larger magazines and stuff like that. All of that's good. All of that's nice, good. For those of you who have listened to the show for a while, y'all know I love a good mid-ass, just 7 out of 10, 360 PlayStation 3 shooter. Like, that's my shit. So it's absolutely that. What I did not expect, the Terminator-ness of this story is so on point. When I say this is the Terminator 3 that I think everyone wanted, it's literally a perfect Terminator story where it has the cool time travel stuff. Like the whole core conceit of the movies is how cool this time travel concept is. This puts a bow on that full circle idea in probably the most perfect way possible. And then it also has really cool action, just like all the other Terminator movies do, especially Terminator 2. But specifically, what I didn't expect, people don't think about this often because, I don't know, it's just not a part of the movie we think about a lot. The sex in Terminator 1 was like a main theme.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people don't think about that often because now it's like a multi-million-dollar franchise, and so sex is a core theme. Kids can't watch that. But like, that was a big part of Terminator 1. This game includes that theme and makes it just as important as all of the action and all of the sci-fi time travel nonsense. It is impressive. It is really, really fucking cool. And I didn't, the game kind of hit me in a weird time where I've been thinking a lot about those types of themes in real life anyway. So to have a game that like gave me my, you know, generic action game goodness, but also gave me like these other types of themes, I'm like, all right, this is hitting me in a way that I didn't expect. And the ending is just a perfect bow on the franchise. Like, I understand Dark Fate came out and nobody watched it except me in the theaters, so we're not getting more Terminator movies. I'm content with that because this game gave me a perfect conclusion to that entire franchise. And so, yeah, Terminator Resistance, one of my favorite games of all time. It is incredible.
I'll have to
It
give it
really
a
hope
try.
they
It's one
make
of those
this
games
good.
I always heard about, but just never dived into.
I
Yeah.
really hope their next Teon's next game is RoboCop versus Terminator,
See,
because that's literally their last two games.
that's true. It makes sense on paper in that way, but also they definitely paint me as a studio that's like, hey, we want to take an IP and do really faithful by it. And what's
Oh
less
God, what if they made a
faithful?
Predator film or Predator game, like first
Dude!
person?
Oh, give me because look, I just want more like an Aliens versus Predator. Give me like the single player campaigns. I want that. I don't want another Predator hunting grounds. So if they give me something like that, I can hold hands with you on that. But they love 80s action, so name an 80s action movie. Hey, what's Arnold doing? Can he get in the booth for Commando?
I mean, he didn't really want to. He didn't give his likeness for the most recent Terminator game that came out, the
He
2D
didn't.
No Fate.
Yeah, which was kind of weird, but also I guess it's fine. I guess I get it. But yeah, there's plenty of 90s action and 80s action. I hope they go into 90s because I could see Taeyeon making a fucking awesome Rush Hour movie. Or not movie, Rush Hour game. Also, Rush Hour is a little bit weird right now because now even that franchise has become a political talking point. It's weird, and Brad Bird's a piece of shit as well. maybe I retract my entire statement, but in any case, Terminator Resistance is really good. Everyone go play Terminator Resistance. It's very like I say the game's generic gameplay wise, but the gameplay is fun. But it is exactly what it looks like. It's the story and the themes and the characters that impress here. So definitely go check that out. And with that puts a bow on this category. What took so long? Those are all the games we finally played in 2025 and our favorites of the year that didn't come out in that year. But let's talk about some stuff that actually happened in 2025 with our next category. This is a more traditional one. This is going to be biggest gaming news of 2025, sponsored by Jeff Keighley. These are going to be the top 3 stories of the year. We're going to pick one headliner, one number 1 spot, and then we're going to do 2 runners up here. So let's read out what we got here. And I may or may not have a thing or two to add. I think everything's on here, but we'll read everything we have on here and then we'll talk about it. So starting at the top, Acclaim returns as indie publisher focusing on original IP. Giant Bomb goes independent. The debate of
Woo!
AI in video games. Oh yeah, shout out Giant Bomb, yay. The debate of AI in games, parentheses, Arc Raiders, Clay Obscure, Epic Games, Divinity, SAG-AFTRA Strike, and more. Able Gamers trash behind the scenes, it turns out. Mitchell and Job's court case. Nintendo Switch 2 reveal and launch. The Stop Killing Games situation / initiative, I'd put. Microsoft steps on rakes. Microsoft cuts gaming division, 9,000 layoffs, studios closed, games canceled, resignations in solidarity with those let go, price increases on consoles, Game Pass changes for the worse, and boycotts. Rockstar commits union busting at Rockstar North. Vince Zampella of Respawn Entertainment, Call of Duty, Titanfall, Star Wars Fallen Order, and Battlefield 6 also killed in a car crash. And Meta kills 3 VR developers, including Twisted Pitchell and Camouflage.
I also feel it's important, at least for the Meta story, to just like that headline to just mention Armature Studios because they are made up of like some heavy hitters, or at least
you're right.
were when the studio like was formed. So
You're right. I will add that. But also it's ironic because I think the first thing that should get taken off is that.
yeah,
Not
no,
because
because
it's
it's
a bad story, but it happened in January.
yeah.
Yeah, that just happened right before we recorded.
Holy crap. I just added that and I totally forgot that it was the new year. So you take that right off. You can take that right off.
Yeah, I think that one's I respect
boy,
it. It is big, but
Aren't
next
we
year.
starting the year off strong? What a time to
Man.
be alive.
And honestly, like I wonder how long this is gonna stay on here. Now, first off, all right, I'm gonna open up a tab for our previous game of the year winners because Microsoft steps on rakes. Was that not the winner last year? Like something like that, I want to say.
I think last year was the Jeff Keighley thing, wasn't it?
I'm looking it up just to see what the winners were. But I could have sworn it was something like we had a Microsoft bad winner. Yeah, Xbox controversy, console exclusivities, layoffs, and Game Pass changes. That was number 2 last year.
A plan so good they tried it again.
Yeah, and for the record, number 1 was Concord revealed, released, and delisted all, and Firewalk closed all within 5 months. And then number 3 was Yuzu shut down by Nintendo. So yeah, I feel like having Xbox on here again. I mean, the thing is, it got worse for Xbox. It got way worse than it even was last year. So it's like now we have the genocide on top of all the shit that was going on. Now we have their consoles being way more expensive, and we have, they shut down even more studios and canceled even more games. So like things are just bad for them, just overall. So as bad as I think things are, I still don't think that's big news because they kind of were in that situation to start the year off.
Yeah, I'm good for taking that off. It just feels like a retread.
Yeah. I'm gonna just take off the Microsoft stuff, but I fully agree that they suck, and we'll talk more about how they suck as we continue, most likely. But yeah, I just don't think that's big news.
Can I make a suggestion?
I'm gonna make your suggestion first, and then Al.
I was just gonna, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Alda.
I think it would be good to take off the to remove the like everything, like the entry about Vincent Pella's passing. I don't think I just feel it's disrespectful towards just in general. It's just like I don't like if
So
I
considering the
don't feel comfortable
circumstances.
with it being on here.
I was
I-
okay. I'm interested in knowing it. Weirdly, I think that should be a lock in. Not in any kind of disrespect, but in the fact
I
that
understand.
is like, I get that it's like, you're saying it's a news story. It is a news story, but it's also like a huge story for gaming of the year in terms of like a person that, I mean, I don't, we talked about having an in memoriam category before, like last year, and we never got
Mhm.
around to it, and this would have been the perfect kind of thing for that.
I'm
But
gonna be honest.
yeah.
We've lost some legends this year. Itagaki passed as well.
That's true.
Yes. So like it's been a year. So this definitely is one. I do want to agree with you, Graydon, because when I say it might feel disrespectful to have it on here, it's weird to have someone's passing and talking about it and being like, is this guy dying a bigger deal than the Switch 2 releasing? Like that feels disrespectful. But it being on a list of big news, that is maybe the only story here that I gasped when I found out.
Yeah.
Like I had an emotional response to the passing of Vincent Pella in a way where none of these other stories, even if they are quote unquote bigger news, none of them hit me as hard. Vincent Pella, look, I'm Mr. Titanfall 2. Like that alone fucked me up. Like I remember that happened. I was at work and I already had like a kind of rough day. And then like the last hour or so of work, I saw the headline for this and I was just checked out. I was just ready to go. And then I came home and my mom was like, "How was the day?" And I was like, "It was kind of bad." And then I was talking about what happened and I like started tearing up. I'm like, "Shit.
Oh,
This is like it's the first this happens as you age, but not a lot of the people whose art has had a massive impact on me has gotten old enough to pass away.
right.
And this is one of the first people whose art has made a massive impact on me and now they're not here anymore. And it's like I
Yeah.
never knew them, but it's like shit.
This to me felt like when you guys talked about Toriyama a couple of years ago. Was it last year even? And it was like, and I was like, I respect the hell out of it, but I don't have the connection that you guys did with the Dragon Ball stuff. That's the person, right? Toriyama.
Yeah.
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 And
He also
but then like,
Toriyama also like
Dragon Quest art.
Dragon Quest, Blue Dragon, like heavily involved in games as well
right.
as well as manga and anime and all that.
Yeah. And like with this, like in terms of Call of Duty, like that shit brought me up. Like like that was like my first my first console that I bought myself that I owned that was mine. That was like my first game that got me into like in even in terms of narrative things and stuff, like I look to that series in the olden days and like it's just a big uh, it was huge, so that definitely impacted me as well. But like as we're talking about this, I'm seeing that maybe we could curve it in a way to an in memoriam type of thing, but also like I agree
I
with you
have a
taking it
suggestion.
off. Yes.
My suggestion is instead of sponsored by Jeff Keighley, dedicated to Vincent Pella.
Ooh.
That's actually really
Yeah,
I like
like
that.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that right now. Cause I really do feel like there's no bigger news than the passing of anyone. Like
Yeah.
industry goes up and down, but like a life is a life. So yeah, I absolutely agree with that. So I'm gonna put dedicated to.
And that we should say in no way discredits or ranks against other people who have passed in previous years that we didn't do this to, or the people who also passed in this year. But it's just
Itagaki.
like exactly like
Tobunaka Itagaki. All major respect. I got into Ninja Gaiden really hardcore this year. I didn't play 4, but I ran through 1 or ran through 2 and loved the experience. And I wouldn't have had those experiences without him. So rest in peace to you. Rest in peace to the gentleman. Coffee Talk, the developer of Coffee Talk. I believe they passed like early this year, or maybe they
Yeah.
just like. I remember seeing like a there was a feature in I think the Indie Game Awards, but that might have been the year prior. But we've lost a lot of legends over the last year or so, so it's rough. It's fucking rough.
Mhm.
You know, you hate to
Yeah, it's
see it
like
in any
how
context.
in like early February of 2024, the creator of Suikoden passed away.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's right.
Didn't one of
Uh,
those people like one of those like old point and click legends, like a Sierra person or something, pass away recently?
mm.
Yeah,
All the names I want to guess are people who I am pretty certain are alive and don't want to curse by bringing up their name in this context.
Like a LucasArts
So,
person or something.
yeah, yeah.
no, Roberta Williams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Roberta Williams passed
Oh
not
wait,
that
no, no,
long
no, no,
ago.
wait, no. I'm sorry.
I have someone's face in my head when you said that. I'm hoping that was their name. 'Cause someone passed. It was a trans woman, but she had a very long legacy in like classic games. She had cancer recently.
Uh,
She was raising money for it.
Rebecca Heineman.
I think that's it. Rebecca Heineman.
That's what I was thinking of.
All right, we're on the same
Yeah,
page then. But yeah,
yeah. Worked on Metroid, Bard's Tale, passed away in November.
that's it. November. Yeah, it was very recent.
It's
Yeah,
literally
so
like Itagaki in October,
yeah, Rebecca
Heineman,
a month later.
and then Vincent Pella a month later.
Yeah, man, the last 3 months have been really rough for Pat with you know the deceased in the games industry. It's been a year, man. It's been a year as far as that goes, and
And
I hate to
fucking
say,
Jane
but
Goodall, man.
Jane Goodall too.
What
Like
the
I know
fuck?
that's a bit of a stray because it's not gaming, but also fuck, man. I mean, look, I, we're getting older. The medium's getting older. We're gonna have more stories like this, and it's gonna hurt. God forbid. The thing I keep thinking about, at least I am so happy that all these people that have touched our lives have been relatively uncomplicated in their life outside of the games they have made. They happen to be good people and everyone liked them. The thing I keep
Itagaki,
Yeah. Well,
though.
Itagaki had some controversies and whatnot, but at the end of the day, especially later in his life, it's like, all right, he's just chilling. But a lot of Itagaki's problems were problems that everyone in 2005 had if they were male.
Mhm.
Mm.
So it's kind of easier to excuse a little bit, but yeah, he had some things there. No matter what his problems were, it was definitely not worth doing what the hard drive did. I don't know if you saw what they did when Itagaki passed.
I do not remember.
Long story short, the hard drive, of course, that's like the parody video game news site that
Yeah,
makes crap
yeah.
jokes all the time. When Itagaki passed, they said RIP to Tobunaga Itagaki and just posted a picture of like an oatmeal cookie, and it made me really angry. It was incredibly fucked up. They thought they were cooking with that, and everyone was like, "What the fuck? That is an actual person." So yeah, nah.
You will have
That
to explain that reference to me offline.
if you've seen a picture of Toboku Itagaki's skin, you will understand what that joke is.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
I
really
can
fucked up.
kind of picture it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like, all right, that's not. I get what you're trying to do, but no. In any case, yeah. So it is now dedicated to Vince Zampella for the biggest gaming news. Now let's pick from what we have left here. Here's what I recommend so we can save a little bit of time. How about we go around? We're gonna do 3 circles around, and we're gonna say, "Hey, bold." Basically, we're getting the top 3. We're gonna say, "Hey, do you want to bold this?" I'm gonna start and say I'm gonna bold the Giant Bomb Goes Independent. I think that's huge. All right. Now I'm gonna just go down. Graydon, which one would you like to bold here?
My God, I'm still driving. Can you read them just briefly to me, real quick?
I got you. We got Acclaim returns as an indie publisher focusing on original IP. Giant Bomb Goes Independent. Debate in AI in game, so a bunch of AI related stories. Able Gamers is trash behind the scenes. Mitchell versus Jopes court case. Nintendo Switch 2 reveal/launch, Stop Killing Games situation, and Rockstar commits union busting at Rockstar North.
Ooh. I feel very strongly about the Rockstar one, but I think we'd be remiss if we don't do the Stop Killing Games, because that was the thing of the year. So I'd bold that one.
That was going to be my second bold.
Yeah, that's what
now-
I will pick too.
Josh, that was going to be your first bold as well?
Yeah,
I feel that.
I've kind of fallen out of like staying in tune with all the video game stuff, and even that one like kept popping up on my radar, and so it would be kind of hard for me not to put that up here.
Well, that one kept making headlines throughout the year too, so it was definitely a
Yeah.
big one. Al, what about you? Which one would you like to bold?
Debate of AI in games.
I think that is good as well.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I feel like those are our three. Because I also agree that the Rockstar one is massive, just because it is. The whole year has been awash with stories of the big guy fucking up the little guy. That's all 2025 has been in a lot of ways, and this feels like the biggest possible example of that happening in the games industry. But it did just happen at the end of the year, and I think this is going to be a bigger story even going forward into this coming year.
Yeah, like a similar thing happened. Something similar to this happened with Ubisoft. Like not like this month.
Yeah, literally, they closed the studio shortly after they unionized. So
That was so fucked, man. That was good. I hate that there's like already two big stories for next year's Game of the Year stuff. And we're halfway through the first month.
Wouldn't it be a great year if like we had so few entries in this category where we don't do it?
Yeah. Nothing else happens and no one dies. What a great year.
Oh my god, right?
Let's have
What a
nothing.
boring year in video games, please. So yeah, are we in agreement? Is there anything that we think deserves bolding outside of Stop Killing Games, Giant Bomb, Independence, and AI Debate? Because I feel like that's it.
And that really sums up the year pretty well.
I really do feel like that's the case. Now, one question I want to ask before I start taking some of these off. Mitchell and Job's court case. Who put that on there? Because I'm not exact. I don't remember what that is.
I believe I did.
All right. I was trying to Google it, but please.
So, the YouTuber so Billy Mitchell was sued Carl Jobst and basically
The pinball guy? Or the Donkey Kong guy?
That's Donkey Kong, yeah.
Yeah.
For defamation, right? Something like that?
Defamation, and the Carl Jobst said the reason that he was being sued was because of use of basically saying that Billy Mitchell is a cheater by using in a video the AVGN like joke about Billy Mitchell where it's like in the like after like the nerd has to like be like channel Billy Mitchell's like ability, and just goes to like a smash cut to that's right, we're gonna cheat. And he Carl was saying that that's the reason he was being sued, and so because of that, and he was making more or less like diss videos on like without the rap though, so not that
Damn.
not that good.
Certified pedophile.
Again, like so basically he was basically just saying this guy's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. And everyone was like thinking like it was kind of like it was kind of like a like everyone's gonna can't wait to see this because this guy needs to be knocked down a peg. It's like it was kind of like the Al Capone vault moment.
Oh, okay. Hell of a reference.
Where or in this case Al Capone's glove box. So Billy Mitchell, the lawsuit basically turned out that he was being sued not because of that AVGN clip. He was being sued because he claimed that Billy Mitchell caused someone to end themselves.
Oh.
and it was a complete shit show.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that serious. Well, I
Yeah.
understand why
Yeah.
that's such a big deal now. Because I thought this was like just some internet drama. It's like, oh no, there's a life on the line.
Yeah, like this whole thing had been going on for like two or 3 years. Like that's a whole lawsuit, and if I remember correctly, Carl, like there was like crowdfunding. Don't quote me on that.
I remember seeing that actually.
Okay, but yeah, it was just a whole complete and total like, wait, this is what it actually was? What the fuck?
Yeah. Because I didn't see the video, so that's how I found out about that, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that was even related. But yeah, I think that's definitely big enough to get on this list, but unfortunately not big enough to stick around. So I'm gonna be taking off the Switch 2 launch, which by the way, crazy that the Switch 2 launching is not one of these, is not in the finalists. Like I think when the year started, that probably would have been number one with a bullet, but then the year happened.
I was gonna say, actually, the year happened, and then the games that released on Switch 2 happened.
Yeah, and that being like 2 games, 3 games.
I mean, I don't know if you saw Botox Games. He did a video where he was just like, he basically bought every Switch 2 game, and did like just like going over every single game that released this year on the Switch 2. And
it was a 5-minute video.
No. It was a pretty long video, but a lot of the games, like of the games that weren't on Switch on the original Switch, or like that of those games, of the games that were Switch 2 game key cards.
Yes,
there's so many. There's a lot of things hurting the Switch 2 right now.
That's true. Well, I'm interested to see how it goes, how it looks like going into this year. Because fun fact, I almost bought a Switch 2 the other day. They had it for $50 off over at Micro Center. I put in the order online and I had to pick it up and pay for it. And then on the way there, I was like, why the fuck am I buying this? So I turned around.
I feel like the only thing it really has going for it is Bonanza.
That's the one game I'm super interested in.
No, what's it got going for it? What else?
You're gonna tell me Metro Prime 4 is like a new classic?
Isn't that also on Switch 1 though?
It is.
It is.
The new Kirby DLC though, I do want to play.
I was actually gonna say, of all things, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and the Hyrule Warriors game that's on Switch 2.
The frame rate boost.
Like that.
You're right.
Yeah, like that. It's like it's an entirely different experience.
Yeah, I do want to play the new Zeldas at 60 frames. That's true, but I feel like I could, if I go to the right websites before they get taken down, I feel like I could just do that without a Switch 2. So, it is what it is. All right, so now that we have our 3, let's figure out the arrangement of these 3. Giant Bomb goes independent, debate of AI in games, and stop killing games situation. I feel like, okay, here's my pitch, everybody. I feel like AI in games is the actual biggest story of 2025, but the year has been so awful in so many different ways. We have lost so many different websites. We have lost so many different games media talent. Can Giant Bomb be number 1 because it's a positive story for once?
Are we allowed to have positive stories with this category?
It feels illegal, doesn't it? Like, goddamn. I kind of like having it as number 1 just because, thank God, something good happened. But I don't think it's the actual biggest story. How do we feel about it?
I kind of agree with you.
Hey, that's 1. How are we feeling, Alan Graydon?
Sorry, I'm walking in the house, but no, I think that's good to have a nice story for once.
Hell yeah! All right, that's 3 for 3. Can we go 4 Al?
Please, am I someone who pays $9.99 a month to Jeff Grubb and Jeff Bakalar for premium Giant Bomb? Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, indeed. So I'm fucking with it. We are going with it. I am going to go ahead and change these the numbers since we have locked in the order. And so that is your category, biggest gaming news of 2025, dedicated to Vince Zampella. Your winners are Stop Killing Games. Let's say Stop Killing Games movement, because it was indeed a movement. Number 2 is the AI debate in games, and number 1 is Giant Bomb goes independent. Hallelujah. That was a nice category.
It's a website about video games sometimes.
Most of the time, I'd say, but sometimes not. Sometimes about some other stuff. But yeah, that was a good conversation for that category as well. Let's see if we can keep up the conversation in the next category. This one is Zeitgeist of the Year, sponsored by Balatro. These are our top picks of Phenomenon of the Year. This is kind of just like, regardless of if we played it or not, these are just the biggest video game things that everyone couldn't stop playing throughout the year, or couldn't stop talking about either. And here are your nominees. Blueprints, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which there's some AI controversy there we'll talk about. Then we have Switch 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, Megabonk, and Peak. Now, I feel like, all right, look, let's I'm gonna go ahead and just get to the elephant in the room. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. The AI conversation around that game, basically what had happened was early in development when these AI tools were just coming out, they were like, hey, there's a lot of big promises being made about this AI thing. Let's implement it into the game and let's see, if there's anything worth using. Let's see if there's any benefit for us to be using it. They found out pretty quickly there is no benefit to them using it right now. So they intended to take it out of the game. And there were some assets that people found on launch day that they patched out within a week. And those assets were AI generated. There was something super subtle, super small, but they were AI generated, and they did make it into the final release. Yes, they got patched out after about a week or so, but the damage was done and the AI stank was on it. And for most of the year, the AI wasn't in the conversation when it claimed to Clair Obscur. Yeah, that happened at the beginning, but people were just too busy playing and enjoying the game. And it wasn't until it started sweeping awards and it got like the Game of the Year award at the Game Awards where that conversation kind of came back around, where people saw, hey, the Alters had AI in it, and the conversation on that died because the AI took over the conversation. But Clair Obscur is still around. And so then it lost its Indie Game Award, and, things got weird there. So when it comes to this, I have an instinct to be a little bit more lenient because from everything else I hear about these devs, they're not the Web3 brained AI is going to solve all of our problems. We don't have to pay anybody finally type people. They don't seem like that type of company. So I think it's maybe a genuine, in the same way where I have like 50 photos on my phone when everyone was AI generating pictures of themselves to use as a profile picture 3 years ago. I did that shit too. And then I was like, these pictures kind of look hideous. I actually don't want to use them. I had to find out the hard way. And I feel like they found out the hard way as well. So perhaps I'm content with them being on here, but I want to hear y'all out. Is there enough objection to Clair Obscur being on here that we want to take it off?
I hate to make it so basic, but I think there's a high possibility we won't have a Game of the Year if we discredit if we sit on Clair Obscur for that much. But I do think that it's good to mention it because a lot of people, honestly, you saying this is the most in depth that I have heard about it, and it's nice to preface it with that because that could get us to not choose it for certain categories.
Now you have that ammunition if you need to take it out later.
I can give the kill shot to Clair Obscur if need be.
Damn. Now we're all fucking Machine Gun Kelly. In any case, that was
not the only kill shot Clair Obscur's seen. Am I right?
Oh my god. I'm sure that would hit harder if I played the game. All right,
Wait,
so
you didn't
it's
wait. Okay, hold on. Hold the fucking phone, bro. Oh no, it's gonna
I
be
know a lot
bad,
about it.
Emmett.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. But right now, for this category, so it seems like we're cool with keeping Clair Obscur on, unless anybody wants to speak up right now. But I think if I'm being honest, I think the Zeitgeist of the year goes Clair Obscur number 1, Hollow Knight number 2, Peak number 3.
I'm with you on 1 and 2. I have no idea what peak is.
Oh my gosh. Wait, is there something else on here besides Switch 2, of course, that you do know what it is?
No, number 3, I wouldn't be able to pick one.
Oh wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so what do y'all feel? Because I think we can all agree Hollow Knight and Clear are on there. Al, what's your number 3 here?
So I've not played Peak. I have not played Hollow Knight. I have not played Silk Song, but I am aware. I do respect it's. I respect it's why it's on here, and it deserves its spot on here. And so I guess technically, my heart says Megabonk, but my mind says Blueprints. Get it?
Interesting. I do get it. I get why those parts take over those games.
Yeah.
Graydon, are you feeling similarly, or do you have a different number 3 here?
What was the number 2 again? It was
Clair Obscur and Silk Song. It seems like we're consensus are on.
Yeah,
there.
I
Now
feel
it's about between the third.
good with that. I think Blueprints should be the third. I
Mm.
arguably think that Blueprints should be. I don't know. I want to say that Silk Song. No, Blueprints has to be 3. Yeah, it's just got to be. It was so big.
Really, I am so surprised. Here's why I'm surprised. I feel like Switch 2 is too basic, so that's why I'm ignoring it. I feel like Megabonk, Megabonk was
good.
big,
So
but
addictive.
and I believe that it is addictive. As soon as I saw Megabonk, I'm like, all right, that makes sense why it's popular. But I also feel like Megabonk was popular over there. Like, I know you've played it, but I feel like most of the Megabonk hype was like away from center mass. Like, I wasn't seeing a lot of people playing it in my own circles, people I follow, people I watch on Twitch, stuff like that. Even friends in real life, no one was talking about Megabonk, but I would just hear about it selling 1 million copies, and I'd be like, "What the fuck is this game that sold 1 million copies?" Like, that's how Megabonk hit me. But all these other games, I saw a lot of chatter directly in my line of fire. But the reason I say Peak over Blueprints, because I think that's what it is. I feel like Peak was just it. How do I say this? Blueprints and Peak both started at 0. They both were just like Peak. Yeah, we had Aggro Crab tagging along, but no one was really like anticipating Peak. They kind of like announced it and teased it a little bit, but it had a little bit of like interest just because we know the pedigree of Landfall Games and of Aggro Crab. But then it came out and sold like 5 million copies, like damn near instantly. And everyone was like, "What the fuck?" It is probably the biggest viral hit of the year, and it only came out on one platform, and it was $5. So that was massive. Now, Blueprints also came from, I mean, it was the developer's first game. There was a little bit of buzz for it pre-release, but I think Blueprints kind of hit not because of how popular it was, but because of the quality of it, because of the uniqueness of it. There are some things in Peak. Peak is just the best version of a type of game that's already existed. Blueprints is low-key a completely new genre. And so do I want to give it to Blueprints just because it didn't reach the highs that something like a Peak did, but it also did come out of nowhere and completely change the game? How do we want to do that? Because I'm prepared to just let y'all have this one. I feel like Peak is the one because I just heard so much more about it, but Blueprints, it's more just where the fuck did this impossibly designed game come out of?
So
I will
Blue.
say, Peak has done so much in the past year, basically from release to now. in creating so many hilarious moments for just about anyone who has played it, watched people play it, other people play it. And with that said, Blueprints has kind of a bit of the opposite in terms of, or not the opposite. Makes you feel big brained when you get that moment, like when you get that moment when you solve the puzzle, accomplish the thing that you were not expecting to accomplish.
Yeah, that primal sense of pride.
Yeah, and to be fair, isn't that what we all want to feel?
I guess you got a point there. Graydon, you also had a point as well.
Yeah, I feel like this is kind of coming down to like how our circles found these games. Like, I remember Blueprints, the first time I saw it was because of a demo, and then all of a sudden everyone was like, I still remember the moment when Jason Schreier was like, there's a game that comes out tomorrow and it has changed like everything for me. And everyone's like, oh my god, it's Blueprints. And I'm thinking, there's no fucking way it's Blueprints. Nobody knows what that game is. And it was. And so I love that, and I feel like that really encapsulates what a Zeitgeist is. It's just like, oh my god, like it is the talk of the town. And Megabonk, I honestly still really don't know what it is. And Peak,
I could tell you what it is in one sentence.
Okay.
It is Vampire Survivors, but third person.
Yeah, that's
oh,
totally
that one. That one. I do remember that game.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I didn't hear people talking about it as much. And then Peak, I heard Emmett talk about it. Then it was nominated for a game award. And it was just like, well, I don't know what this game is either. And so it's just like, not to, shit on any of them. They're all worthy of praise in their own rights. It just comes down to like my vote is behind what I've like, seen people talking about. And that was Blueprints.
And that is fair. I think the passion for Blueprints is stronger than any one person's passion for Peak. I think Peak is just a friends hangout game. Like the whole idea of Peak is you're a bunch of Boy Scouts who go climb a mountain, but they fixed a lot of problems with a lot of these hangout and do stuff games where when someone dies, they're not like kicked out of the lobby and you have to wait until they finish. Like they turn into a ghost and they can still like call things out and point things out in the environment and still hang out, but they've lost the ability to like be in the final cutscene when they reach the top of the mountain. So like they've introduced like cool elements like that. There's a lot of like emergent gameplay where you're messing with physics and there's different bugs and fruit and stuff that grows on the mountain that you can eat for different effects. There's a lot of like it's a playground for silliness in a way that these games always strive for, but not all of them nail, and this one nailed it. So shout out to Peak for that, but I think it is just a good version of something that has already existed. Where Blueprint sounds like there's no other game that I know of off the top of my head that sounds like anything Blueprints is doing. It's one of a kind. So maybe because of that, we give it to Blueprints.
I'm good with that.
Okay. Are we all in agreement? Blueprints is the one true king.
I like it.
I'll say there is a world in which I get addicted to Megabonk, but because I can see that world so clearly, I refuse to touch it.
I will say though, I will concede with or not concede. I will say I also agree with Blueprints, but Peak also has done so much for VTubers.
Yeah,
like the clip yeah, and also it's just
I got you. Don't worry. Killed me. This is my hell. I will say also another cool thing that Peak does is there's like what is it? Not directional audio, but like basically the audio is distorted based off of where you are in the environment. So if you're like in a canyon on the other side of the mountain entirely and you scream, it will sound like a scream came from 15 miles away in game. like the echoes and the sound design. It's all very, very tight. I've seen videos of people who like accidentally fall down the cliff and you like hear their screams as they fall down and it gets quieter.
This is definitely making me want a game night. This game.
Oh, it looks fucking incredible. It looks so much fun. And it's
Does any
cheap.
of
It's
us
like $5.
do we own it? Any of us?
I don't think I own it. I think it was one of those where I was like, oh, I want to buy it because of the Zeitgeist, but then I was like, am I gonna play this for real? Am I gonna play this? I had to look at myself. But honestly, when that hits consoles, I think everyone should jump on that, especially if it's the same price it is.
Yeah, because it's currently on sale for $4.95.
Oh yeah, 38%
And
off. Let's fucking go.
yeah, there's also a whole funny thing like with Giant Bomb, like the recent Giant Bombcast, where it was like the Peak developers were like, it's like they did their own they created their own math system for for rationalizing the pricing and all that.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah, like $8 is $5, and it's like, what is even going on here?
Honestly, I read it all. It made complete sense. It basically
Yeah.
is saying like once a price is close enough to like the threshold of $10 or $5, then we just read it as $10 or $5, whatever threshold is closest to. Like Peak goes for $8. It goes for $7.99. But because it's $7.99 and not $8, we read it as, oh, that's basically $5. Instead of
It's
us
closer to
being like,
5 than it is to
yeah,
10.
exactly. But if it was going for like $8.99, then we'd be like, oh, that's $10.
Yeah.
Also, I lied. I bought this at launch. I looked it up. It is on sale for $9.45, or $4.95. But yeah, I bought this at launch because I have no self-control. I'm working on that this year. That's a New Year's resolution of mine. But yeah, Peak is cool. Definitely try Peak, but it's not winning this category. So are we in agreement with the arrangement I said earlier? Clear Obscure number 1, Hollow Knight number 2, Blueprints number 3, or do we want to argue around that?
I
Can
think
we-
that's better.
Can we argue that Silk Song deserves 1?
Ooh, why?
Yeah, because it's been in the making for so much longer.
I know that
Like
people can argue.
every year has been every year until 2025 was when Silk Song.
Yeah, it was freaking massive. I know that you could argue that it didn't do as well as like Clair Obscur did in terms of just, being the thing everyone talks about. But I mean, in terms of hype train, though maybe I'm, contradicting the whole category itself. So I don't know. I don't know what's right. Someone else needs to tell me what to think.
Here's how I'm looking at it. I agree. If you want to talk about like single day of news relating to any of these games, Hollow Knight Silk Song had the biggest like emotional release of any of these video games. Like the day that we all found out that Blueprints was good and the day that we all found out that Clair Obscur was good, nothing on the day we found out that Silk Song was releasing. Because we knew it was going to be good, but the fact that it like was real and was coming out imminently, that could have been biggest gaming news if the game wasn't already out. So like that day alone is massive. Even if the game was bad, I feel like it could have still gotten Zeitgeist of the year. The problem is Clair
It
Obscur
kicks everyone's
Expedition-
ass.
Well, not even it kicks everyone's ass. The game kicked
It does.
everyone's ass.
It does.
It did. It's very difficult. So I think it's not as big of a zeitgeist because half the people who were excited for it and played it immediately stopped playing it immediately because it was so hard. But even more
and also to
importantly-
be fair,
Yeah.
a lot of those people didn't play Hollow Knight, like
Yeah.
the original.
They were new to the franchise. You're right. So I agree with that fully. But then also when we talk about Clair Obscur, yes, there were people who saw those first trailers and they were interested. There were people that saw the Xbox Developer Direct at the beginning of the year and they were interested in Clair Obscur. It definitely had some people's attention. But it went from new game from new studio that no one knows about, no one cares about, from a publisher that people aren't really checking for like that. It went from that to now at the end of the year, it is boring to have that as your game of the year pick because everyone has it as their game of the year pick.
Also,
they went from nobody to basically like, of course Naughty Dog got the game of the year, of course Rockstar got game of the year, of course Clair Obscur. They're in that conversation now in months.
there was also the whole thing like at like around the time around launch when like I forget I can't remember if it was Xbox or PlayStation or PlayStation 5 or both, where there's like there were no physical copies, like
yeah, it sold out a lot of places for a minute.
yeah, which is why I made it like that's why I got the mirror edition.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, I need to at least own some version of this game.
Yep, I feel you. Also, side note on that, I had a gift card at Best Buy, so I got it more or less launch week. I think I got it like the day after the review embargo went up. But also, I was so on the hype. Once again, keep in mind, I haven't played this game, but I was so consumed by the hype that I went to go to GameStop to get the collector's edition, and it was already sold out. And then a different website said, "Hey, we're gonna reprint some and sell a couple." And so I bought it on there, and it's literally on the way to my house right now. So that just shows you the type of decisions I make with my money. They're all poor. So yeah, I that's how I feel. That's why I think Clair Obscur deserves to be number one over Silk Song, because yes, Silk Song's great. Yes, we've been waiting for it for a while, but it started off high, and then the miracle with Silk Song is that it exists at all. The miracle of Clair Obscur is not only that it exists, but that it is as good as it is. So that's why I feel like Clair Obscur is number one, and then Blueprints is just happy to be here. Anybody in disagreement with me on that?
No, I got you. I agree with you.
Josh, you're holding hands with me on that?
I'm holding your hand, Emmett. I feel like Silk Song and Clair Obscur were kind of like same sides or different sides of the same coin. Like Clair Obscur, like I don't feel like anyone was like people talked about it, but not to like the same degree as like Silk Song. And then once it came out, it was on the tip of everyone's tongue for like the rest of the year, as opposed to Silk Song, where it's like it was on the tip of everyone's tongue because it was so anticipated and it came out. And I feel like it just kind of died off in comparison.
Yep.
I mean, obviously it's still considered one of the games of the year from pretty much everybody, but I mean, like you say, Clair Obscur has just been like the game ever since it came out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, yeah, you said it better than I could. Or so we're just gonna go with it. So yeah, in that case, we have our winners for Zeitgeist of the year, and I'm going to bold them as a formality. Your winners of Zeitgeist of the year, sponsored by Balatro. Your top 3 phenomena of the year are number 3, Blueprints, number 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, and number 1, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And now we go on to our final category of the night with some other interesting nominees. Best Look, sponsored by Harold Halibut. Side note, Harold Halibut, I think pretty soon, if not already, is going to be free on Amazon Prime. So if you have that, you can get a GOG code for it pretty soon. So look forward to that. But let's talk about Best Look. Your nominees for Best Look, sponsored by Harold.
Of course it is. Sorry, I like ran to my mic, but of course it is. I like just bought that game, which like that's great, and I want them to get all the money in the world, but like it just always happens to me.
Where'd you buy it?
I think Xbox.
You might be able to get a refund for that, especially if has it been like a month?
Not a month, but I did buy it in the sale.
Oh, then
Probably
you could
couple weeks.
Especially if you haven't launched it, you can get a refund for that if you really want. But it's on GOG, it's PC, so
True.
If you are sketchy about running it, maybe get your GOG code, see if it can run on your system, and then return it if you like. But yeah, Xbox is pretty lenient with returns. It's PlayStation you got to worry about, because if you open that game for 1 second, they're immediately like, maybe not.
Nah.
Exactly.
No, it's Nintendo. It's Nintendo with that.
Nintendo, just don't try.
Yeah.
PlayStation you can try, but they might fuck you up. But Nintendo, no.
Yeah, with Nintendo, it's like, oh, you bought this game that is not what it says it is. No, fuck you. Get out of here.
That's crazy.
It's impure now.
That was them to me when I bought web fishing.
Wow. They were fishing for more of your money. Goddamn. In any case, the nominees for Best Look, sponsored by Harold Halibut, are South of Midnight, Clair Obscura, Expedition 33, Sword of the Sea, Machina, Despalote, The Precinct, Shooty Shooty Robot Invasion, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
Suddenly, all the games we've played come out to play.
Yeah, finally. All right, now this one's gonna be hard because some of these I gotta look up. I'm not gonna lie. Machina.
I'm doing that right
Unfamiliar.
now.
Yep.
So Machina
okay.
is the Jutaro follow-up,
Yeah.
which I think was nominated when that game came out.
It's a little clay robot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
It's so adorable. I love it.
All right,
They're making a stop motion horror game next. Kickstarter's
Wow.
going up.
Ooh, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I gotta be okay. Let me not immediately just start with tearing down a game. So I'm gonna come back to Machina later. What I am going to say is this. I'm instead of me going the negative route, let me start by riding and dying for the one that I want. We're gonna each pick a bold here. I'm gonna bold for my personal pick. If I can find my mouse, fuck, my mouse is dying. I have to turn it off, turn it back on, so it can get some juice, so I can go over here. I'm gonna do Shooty Shooty Robot Invasion. That is the one that I pick with a bullet. Now, I know this is the game I put on here because I played it, and I don't think you guys have played it because that's just how the year went. But if I can plead my case, Shooty Shooty Robot Invasion looks like it's like right there on the line of Cartoon Network cartoon and Adult Swim cartoon, where it is animated super vibrantly. It kind of has like a really kind of fucked up look to it, where everything kind of looks like a mischievous teenager's drawing. So it's a lot of like weird proportions. It's like a little bit horny. especially in how they like draw some characters, where it's like it's still cartoony. It's still very like an immature looking art style, but like it has just a
Emmett,
little bit of like proportions.
Emmett, you told me what you did in that game.
Oh yeah, in the bathroom. Is that what you're talking about?
The scene.
Yes, the scene. Yes, okay, yeah, that scene. I mean, they didn't
Oh,
show
good
anything in that
heavens.
scene. They don't show.
I purchased this game. I haven't tried it yet.
You bought it?
Yeah, it was in a bundle, so I got the bundle with it. Now,
Oh fuck yeah, Fanatical, yeah. Yeah, I know the exact bundle because I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy this. Oh wait, I got the game for review. I don't need to buy this game again.
not the infamous bathroom scene.
It's not infamous. It's actually kind of
Hide
harmless.
your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband.
Your kids can see what happened. They just don't need to read the dialogue that's around it, because then they'll ask questions.
Oh.
That's
So
what they
it's
need.
like that.
I mean, look, it's the game is very much so like a visual novel. So it's just gonna be one of those types of games. But it's a great game. It's a great game that I think everyone should try and play. But the art of it is like one of the biggest highlights of it. I think it has there's a lot of good art design on here. There's one on here that I'm like, why the fuck is that on here? But we'll get to that. But I just really want to go hard for this one. I think Shooty Shooty Robot Invasion is the art is one of the strongest things about it. What are you laughing at?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, okay. I'm like, fuck, what did I say?
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome.
Oh boy. I'm gonna object to chat.
Oh no.
Let me see.
This is the part where we break the podcast.
I'm incredibly nerve-wracked.
Josh and I should not be put in the same room.
That doesn't happen because actually shit. There's
like,
nothing
"Wait,
in
it
that
does."
scene. There's nothing in that scene that could make that. Technically.
What's going
That's
on in that
crazy,
bathroom? Oh.
Whatever's going on is between two young ladies. That's all I'm gonna say. In any case, shooty robot invasion. God damn it, that's crazy. So yeah, that's the one that I'm writing for. Josh, I'm actually hit you up. What is one that you want to bold here?
Let's go Sword of the Sea.
Yeah, I like it.
See,
I'm glad
that's
someone
a
else
very
played that
good.
game.
It's a very good pick. I played that as well. But I feel like it's too much of a given though, because that's made by a studio that consistently makes like art house games, like
Yeah.
art pieces, and it's like, I mean,
If it was gonna do one
they
thing good, it was gonna do this.
right, they deserve it, and will they win in other categories? I don't know. It doesn't have much really else on what we nominate, but it does seem like an easy choice, but also one I would put my weight behind. So
Yeah, I say we keep it there for now.
yeah.
I have another one. It can come back around on other categories, but I think we keep it there for now, especially since it just got bolded. But since you want to open your mouth, what you got to bold here, Graydon?
Whoa,
That
whoa
sounded very
there.
aggressive.
Wow. First of all, I have a quick interruption because DJ had to be a part of this podcast. He texted me, whoever just posted that VTuber link for Zentreya needs to know she has an official Nikkei outfit. And I said, I'll let him know. And he wrote, thank you, it's very important. So, so Alan, should
Al?
you ever choose to play the Gooner game of the century, Goddess of Victory Nikkei, you have an outfit for you.
Not surprised because I've seen DJ posting about Nikkei on Blue Sky.
Oh yeah, there's a reason he's not here, and it's because it would be nominated for fucking everything.
The
Is that
Nikkei
Um,
Awards
mean they
sponsored
had
by
a collab?
Nikkei for Nikkei.
Wait, Goddess of Victory Nikkei, not Infinity. Oh, Nikki. Never mind.
Oh, true, not Infinity Nikki. Why is that not nominated for everything?
I'm be
That was
honest.
last
Look
year, I
around.
think.
We're not the target demographic for Infinity Nikki, and it was last year.
Truth. But we are the target grab.
We are the target demographic for what game?
It's
Say
like
it.
the target demographic for South of Midnight, which is
All
what
right.
I will nominate in this category.
Now let's say it right off the bat. South of Midnight, Microsoft first party publisher game.
Yes.
The company that publishes this game is actively giving money to a genocide. But I must concur that the visual art in this game is very strong and one of the reasons I like the game. So absolutely. But yeah, I respect you on that choice. Al, is there another one you wanna bold, or is it one of the three already here?
It was originally going to be Machina, but a certain game has been kind of like latched onto my brain because just how clean the art is and all the coloring and all that. And that is
Okay.
Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I can't stop thinking
Wow.
about it.
I respect that.
Like
I don't know if I agree, but I expect the boldness of it.
I I've been obsessively like in my head just thinking about just how like it feels like I'm playing through a very pristine piece of art. And when I say piece of art, I mean like a visual piece of art.
Mm. Oh, like you're playing a painting, literally.
Yeah, like
Huh.
it's been a while. Like I was originally get like the out of this and Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. I was originally that's game I was really looking forward to. After playing after putting time into Shinobi Art of Vengeance, when I played recently Ragebound, I was just feeling I needed to go back to Shinobi Art of Vengeance just because of this just everything like the look and I could go on for much longer, but I'd prefer not to.
Fair enough. But I do like Shinobi. I played a good chunk of Shinobi earlier in the year. I really enjoyed the gameplay, and I do think the art is very, very strong. And you're right. Like the fact you can kind of see the brushstrokes through the character design. Like like the literal brushstrokes of like the outlines and stuff. Like that's insane to me, and I do think it's very, very nice. The only reason I'm surprised you picked it is because I feel like Machina is very strong. I feel like Machina kind of doesn't hit as hard because we had Harold Halibut sponsoring the category already, and we did just give it to another claymation game last year. So it's just not as exciting.
Also, considering the fact that I gave money to the Kickstarter for Machina, I considering like my love of Judaro and my love of Machina and the like, just I don't want to be too extremely biased. What the fuck?
Oh shit! Something else got put into the chat. I'm scared.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I don't mean to derail things. I see them and they have to be shared.
So I mean, this is just the sequel to the last message. Good God, I pray that it wasn't an invasion. That's all I hope. In any case,
Please
that's
proceed.
dark, and I apologize. In any case, I think Shinobi's a good one. The only thing so Machina, I understand you don't want to be biased, but I feel like that one kind of fell off because not a lot of us played it. Really, just you played it, and we kind of gave it to some claymation, so I think there's a little bit of staleness there. The Precinct, that's the police game, right?
It is indeed the police game.
You played that, huh?
Yeah, I believe you had something you wanted to say about the police earlier before we started recording.
Oh, fuck 12. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. But outside of like me not fucking with the police in general, what is it about the look of the Precinct? Because I've seen gameplay of this. It didn't hit me as one of those types of games.
I liked its top-down thing. I mean, so I don't know. Best look, we have said over the years that it's not just, the art style. It also factors in the animation. It factors in the way that it presents itself. And I just really liked the isometric look of the Precinct. I found myself getting lost in that game, and it was truly one of the most fun times I had this year. I wish I could nominate it for more, but it's not a game of the year contender, but it's like one of those just very good 8 out of 10 type games. And I don't know. I liked the coloring of it, the lighting of it, the way that it just kind of looked overall. I thought it was worth a nod to it, but definitely not a winner up against these other things.
Okay. You know what? I'm looking at it now, and it's giving 13, like the Ubisoft game from like the 2000s. It's giving that type of art style, but top down, which is like,
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's like a little cartoonish, but also very realistic. Like I can definitely see the appeal.
Yeah, definitely a fun game. I feel like that's one that people. I mean, you may have been saying, "I'm not gonna fucking play that." Like, I'm not gonna play Police Simulator.
I'm good on propaganda. The only propaganda I accept is the ones I've already accepted in the form of Bad Boys or fucking the other one with Chris Tucker in it.
But it is kind of interesting that like,
even after all the stuff that just came out against him.
Oh, damn! You're right. God damn, I forgot about that. Yeah, Chris Tucker was in the files, y'all.
Oh heavens.
Yeah, oh heavens is right. So yeah, both Rush Hour 4 that they're apparently making is gonna be so weird to watch now. So we'll see how that shit goes. Especially they're only making that because the director who did, this is too much. It's too much for this podcast. Anywho,
it's not yet. We don't want to bring. I don't want to bring down the house.
Yeah, we're not gonna bring it down further than it's already gone. But yeah, the Precinct. I see your point with the Precinct. I might be good on propaganda myself, but I see what you see.
Yeah, I was just surprised by what it was. A little indie game about being a cop fighting crooked cops. I don't know. It's interesting.
At least you're fighting crooked cops. At least you're the one good apple they always talk about.
Oh yeah, that one guy. Every town's got one, I think, supposedly. They tell us.
Yeah, Jim Gordon.
True.
The problem is the whole police force should be Jim Gordon's. The fact that Jim Gordon's exceptional means the rest of the force fucking sucks. Anywho,
The majority of them are
understand
Christy Gnomes. That's the big problem.
Yeah. Say it with your chest. Anywho, Machine.
Is
I'm gonna
that the
go ahead
woman
and take
whose
off.
face is trying to escape her face?
Well, you see, that's any conservative woman.
That's true. That's true. What's her
Okay.
name? What's her name? The one that was like, never mind. I can go down there, but I should not. Not on this podcast. Not at this hour.
They're all blonde white women.
They're all blonde white women, which says a lot. In any case, 2 games that are on here that I'm surprised we are not bolding, but I will take them off. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 and Despelote especially.
Claire Obscure,
yeah.
Claire Obscure, I feel doesn't. I'm so sorry. Doesn't fit the bill for me of like something that is super, super unique and original, and I don't know why. Because like it.
I can tell you why.
Okay, go for it.
Claire Obscure, no matter how unique some of the character designs are, no matter how unique some of the designs of the world and stuff are, that is the most Unreal Engine 5 looking game of all time.
Yeah, it's very Forspoken coded at times.
Kind of, sorta. I didn't put that parallel together, but I see what you mean.
How I don't know.
You're not
how
seeing
so?
it?
Of course.
No,
Okay.
Forspoken just looked very. Forspoken just looked super.
Oh,
Super
it looked
pretty.
like. Okay, I thought it was gonna be like Forspoken looks very tech demo.
They both do.
Okay.
Both of those games do.
Right.
And like,
right.
That's
and
not
I
even necessarily derogatory, but they just have that look where it's like, oh, this probably goes hard in the E3 demo.
I hate to besmirch Claire Obscure's name in any way by comparing it to Forspoken. Please let me retract
Man,
that for a moment.
Fuck them French folk.
But I do feel that like I don't know if you put
Y'all
Claire
are-
Obscure up against like Witcher 3 at times or Baldur's Gate 3, I feel like you're kind of getting similar character looks, similar monster looks. Maybe I'm crazy for saying that, but I think that they kind of all kind of
I'll
look
be honest.
similar.
You're not too
Look,
crazy.
look.
You're not too crazy.
I'll be real.
Mhm.
And this I'm just gonna be up front because it's 12. It's midnight, past midnight.
Right at the end, last category. Let's go.
Whatever. If I have to kill Shinobi Art of Vengeance to make sure South of Midnight ends up in the top 3, I'm fine with that.
Oh,
You know
And
what?
just laying that down right now.
we got a
let me not-
curveball.
Let me not throw that grenade down yet. Let me just go ahead for
Okay.
the sake of expediency. Let's not talk about each one as we delete them. Let's just go ahead and go through. Claire Obscure's gone. Despelote, very nice looking game, but I'm surprised we're taking it off. But hey, no one bolded it, so we're taking it off. All due respect to
Despelote. So Despelote, I feel is like my machina here, where it's like definitely something where my heart is, but I need to think critically about this. Like, will it win?
Mhm.
Type of thing. Despelote. To preface it for the rest of the nominations that I think I might have put it in. It's in a couple others, I believe, but one of my most hyped games for years and years, or however long it had been announced, and mainly because of the look of it. It really just seemed like, it's like a comic book. It's like you're playing a comic, and it's gorgeous, and some of the things that it does, especially when it like maybe breaks the fourth wall. It looks really interesting, but I agree it doesn't compare to the other, honestly, the other 3 that we have.
Yeah. Other 3. Are we already taking off Art of Vengeance ahead of time? Because look,
shit, right? I forgot there was 4. Sorry.
Let's do it like this. We're gonna go around one more time. Everyone, look at the table in front of you. In front of each of you, you'll find a revolver. That revolver has 1 bullet. You're gonna aim that bullet. You're gonna aim that revolver at one of
Wait,
these
wait.
4 games. Everyone have it in their hand. I'm gonna go around and ask you to say the name of a game you want to kill. I'm not killing it immediately, but just like you're gonna pull the trigger. It might click or it might bang. So, you know what, Josh? You're first. Aim at one of these games.
Well, I guess I will be the bad guy here and say that I was not as crazy about South of Midnight as everyone else seems to be.
Whoa.
Wow.
I felt the art style and the animation was very inconsistent, at least through what I played. I think it had some great designs and everything, but yeah, I don't know. It felt too inconsistent for me. Like through cutscenes and gameplay, and even within cutscenes, it didn't feel like it was the same thing from moment to moment. And
So
yeah,
what you're saying is like there's no consistency within the visual like animation, graphics style.
right.
Interesting. That's a pretty hot take, but we'll see if
That
it's
is a
as hot
pretty
as the
hot
bullet.
take.
Exactly. All right. How about you, Graydon? What you aiming at?
I'm gonna hot take it a little further and aim my bullet at Sword of the Sea.
Oh wow.
Strictly based in what I was saying earlier on. It's just that like even looking at the other games that they made, because what was it? It was Abzu. They made
The Pathless.
the Pathless.
Wait, these are the Absu devs?
These are the
Yeah,
Absu
Sword of the
devs
Sea.
and Pathless.
I did
And
not.
before they made the studio, they almost the director of the studio worked on Journey and that game company games.
Right.
Oh my god.
It's
Yeah,
a
you
great
can see
game.
it.
It's a
No,
phenomenal game.
yeah, that's why I'm saying it. I feel
Now it feels obvious in retrospect.
But I feel like in terms of some new things that we haven't really seen, the other 3 are interesting looking.
I
Also,
haven't
I must
seen any
say,
games that look like them. Yes.
shooty, I'm really just letting you have. Like, I could say I got really no horse in that race. I've seen screen grabs of the game, but nothing was super like whoa to me. So I could be like aiming at that, but I'm just kind of letting you have it here.
You know
It
what?
gives me like Sludge Life vibes.
Yeah,
You know,
remind me of the Great Con. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Oh, the Big
The
Con?
Big Con? Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'll give my creed on shooty in a moment, but Al, I want to find out what you aiming at first.
I'm aiming at myself. I'm doing a what was that game that came out last year?
Talk about some Clay Obscure reference.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I want to see South of Midnight, like out of the 3 other ones, shooty robot invasion. Everything I've seen, the game looks incredible. From like a flow, like a gameplay flow, and what like the creativity behind it. Sword of the Sea. I'll admit I did not play it because even though I'm probably gonna play it after we're done recording.
It's on PlayStation Plus Extra. It's 3 hours long.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and I love Dabzu.
Alan's like,
And I
say
love,
less, say less.
yeah, and South of Midnight. I feel like more like that. The style it's going for, like that particular animation style, has so much potential in the gaming sphere.
Mm-hmm.
And Shinobi Art of Vengeance is that it's, at least for me, it's been my Steam Deck autism game lately. Which is that's the whole entire thing. I will not explain. I'll just let that sit.
I can put it
So
together.
yeah,
It does
so
look
I'm
very
calling it.
nice though.
Yeah,
That's the one with like Okami looking, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has like a kind of painterly Okami, but 2D. Yeah.
if it but I'd rather have South of Midnight.
You
Make
rather
it
have
in
that on here than Shinobi.
Yeah, I'll take this. I'll take the L.
Mm. Well, all right. I'll say this. I'll
If
say
you
this.
mean
First off, oh yeah, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying. I'll pull a buckshot roulette.
Oh my god, buckshot roulette. Well, let me say this,
I
and then we'll. Oh yes,
sorry, I know you're trying to say something. Go, you could go
ahead.
for it.
No, I think you have a quick comment. Go ahead.
I have a layup to this possibility to bounce off of what Josh was saying about South of Midnight. Keep it, but I do not think it should be number one.
That I
Which
can
is
hold hands on.
it's a crazy thought for me because I thought that it was like guaranteed. But now that I'm critical about it, as Josh put in my brain, it's reminding me that I had to shut off the
This
stop motion animation
I did
for
too.
gameplay because it made
Wait, was
me a
I
bit dizzy.
wait? Was I the one? Am I the one who didn't turn any of that stuff off?
I'll say it didn't make me dizzy or anything, but I did turn it off because just seeing the character I control not moving as soon as I move something fucked me up.
Because we haven't seen stuff like this before in the
Never
gaming,
have
in
I
like
ever.
in mainstream gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I
You're
thought it
right.
would
Well,
mess up my platforming.
you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, the on the twos animation, I kept that shit on for Spider-Verse, Spider-Man, and Spider-Man 2. So
Huh.
like, why did I turn it off here? It didn't fuck me up. It wasn't like a visual I'm getting sick or something, but it did kind of irk me where it's like, I don't feel like things are as precise if I'm moving every other frame. But I think that might be because of the game rather than the art. So here's what I'll say. Now, first, I'm just gonna get it over with. I was definitely gonna aim at one of the games that have already been aimed at, and I'm just gonna go ahead and it's 2 bullets in, so you're gonna die now because you're gonna bleed out from that. Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I'm sorry.
It was an
Should
honor. I give my
yeah.
life for yours. Witness
I
me.
I got a lot of
Sorry,
respect for
sorry.
Shinobi.
I had to
That's
pull up the
hilarious.
Man Max trifecta.
Witness Me always makes me laugh. That shit's hilarious.
Oh my god. Well, Shinobi has been witnessed. It's a great game. I still need to beat it, but it is a very good game with a great look. Now, let
And
me now that
it may show up later in some other nominations.
it will absolutely show up later. I can say that confidently. But now that we're at our top 3, South of Midnight, Sword of the Sea, and Shooty Shooty Robot Invasion, let me tell you why I go so hard for Shooty Shooty Invasion. South of Midnight looks beautiful. Sword of the Sea looks beautiful. I think both of those games are so finely tuned when it comes to their artistic design. I think South of Midnight, dozens of people looked over all of the art assets in that game to make sure it is optimized to be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Sword of the Sea, maybe like a single dozen people looked over those assets to make sure it's the most beautiful thing you ever seen, but they clearly like went hard and is very meticulous how that game is designed to be visually appealing. I love Shooty Shooty Robot Invasion because it has, in the best way possible, it feels like a first draft. All these drawings feel it feels like you can see the pencil lines in these drawings. Nothing is precisely drawn. Even the hit markers in this game are hand drawn because they are not perfect X's. Like nothing, there's not a single congruent shape. There's not a symmetrical shape in this fucking video game. I think that's so cool to me.
Just want to mention this because just to give some depth to like for these. This is not me saying that I'm not trying to advocate for South America to get number 1 because it doesn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Compulsion Games.
Yep.
They've only made 3 games prior, and this is the 3rd game.
True.
It was literally 2013 Contrast.
Mm-hmm. Then We Happy Few.
Fucking love Contrast, man.
Yeah,
What a
and
game.
it feels like this is going to be more foreshadowing towards like for later on in this pot and for Game of the Year stuff, but it's just like it's just like going back to their. It feels like they're going back to their roots, with at least with the art style, like comparing contrast art style to
They
South of
do feel
Midnight.
similar. Yeah.
Yeah, there's more familiar DNA here than We Happy Few.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely see that.
that's just my piece. But that's my piece on this.
And I respect
I say that, and I say this because I'm like I'm very, very certain that Contrast was like my first PS4. Like that's my on PS4. That's my first own title, and I think everyone else's because
I
of
was gonna say, isn't that crazy
yeah,
that like it was like the first PS Plus game or something for PS4,
Resogun and Contrast were the
yeah.
first two PlayStation Plus free games for PlayStation.
and now they're an Xbox first party studio.
Yeah.
Crazy how that works.
Which is not the first time that's happened. I don't think. Like there's another Xbox studio that was like big on PlayStation and then swapped.
Ninja
What am I?
Theory, Heavenly Sword.
Is that what I'm thinking? Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. And Hellblade was PlayStation exclusive for the longest time. So
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely wild. But yeah, I'll say it like this, y'all. We had that AI art conversation earlier in the biggest gaming news. Not only does Shooty Robot Invasion proudly show in its trailer this game was made without any generative AI, it wears that as a badge of pride, but also even if they didn't have that badge on there, you look at this and you could tell there's not a single circle drawn in this game that is the exact circumference of another circle drawn in this game. Like that's how hand drawn this thing is. And I think that is the coolest thing a piece of software can be. In a world where you could so easily just open up the fucking circle tool in Photoshop and make sure all the circles are the same fucking size. Here, no. They hand drew all of these fucking lines, all of these fucking shapes. Everything is so incongruent and raw. It's just so fucking neat. And I don't think any game, I'm not going to go as far as to say that no game has ever looked like this, but you can't tell me more than like 5 games that look like this. It's one of a kind in my eyes. It's close enough to one of a kind where it might as well be. Where Sword of the Sea is gorgeous. Looks like Abzu. Looks like Journey. South of Midnight, gorgeous. Looks like Contrast. You know what I mean?
I think that's why it should be number one.
How do the rest of us feel?
What the fuck was that sound? And how do I put that on the soundboard? Jesus Christ.
Too late now.
I didn't know we invited Echo the freaking dolphin.
Echo, best look. No. Now you got to wait till the podcast comes out and find scrub through until you get to that sound. How you feel,
Al? Sorry, I lost all train of thought once that sound was made.
Come on, I've squealed with glee before on the show. I think
that was something else. That was life changing. That was mesmerizing, and we were all here for it.
All right, based off your earlier messages, I'm surprised orgasmic wasn't in that pile of words.
Oh, that's the sound that was made. when Pauline ended up as she did, that was the sound.
Let's relax. I am not.
Okay.
I'm not ready for fatherhood, despite my recent actions. In any case, as you're saying,
I'll go with what Josh said.
Shooty number 1. Graydon, are you gonna hold hands with us?
Yeah, I'll join an us-like chain of people across the country and hold hands with you.
Shooty sweep. Shooty sweep.
Yeah, you can put it up there. Just put it up there. And end the episode. We're out of here.
Now, is it South of Midnight number 2, Sword of the Sea number 3?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I'm fine. What about Sword of the Sea number 2?
That's what I have. Oh,
I'm okay with that too.
Than South of Midnight. I'm fine with that if that's where we want to go. Yeah, I'd go with it. The one negative I could see against Sword of the Sea, you have seen a game that looks like that before, where South of Midnight feels a little bit more original, but I can see the complaints about the consistency that Josh raised. So that's why I'm like, 3 is fine.
But Emmett, you may have seen a game that looks like Sword of the Sea before, but did that game have a bouncing shark?
You know what? It didn't. I couldn't ride it either.
A rideable bouncing shark? I think we should move that up to number 1.
All right. The fact that you went to a Trump
Okay.
accent right at the end makes me not give it to that.
I was actually going to
Keep
say
that.
that sounds more like chills.
It wasn't supposed to be Trump-like, but I'll take what I can get here.
You got real nasally in a way that I was like, hey, man. What is
Number 5.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm seeing what you're seeing. Yeah. But in any case, no, fuck you. Shooty number 1. Shooty number 1. Yeah, Bubby Darkstar in this bitch. Anywho, that's the name of the developer. Anywho, we have our winners. Best Look, sponsored by Harold Halibut. The top 3 best graphical animation / visual styles of 2025 are number 3, South of Midnight, number 2, Sword of the Sea, and number 1, Shooty Robot Invasion. Let's fucking go. I am so excited about that. And with that, that is the entire episode for this first part of the video game of the year VGU.TV game conversations game. Let's read out real quick. We're going to read out all the nominees. So the first category, what took so long? Your winners here. Al got Stardew Valley. Josh selected Final Fantasy VI. Graydon got Sleeping Dogs. And Emmett, me, how's it going? Got Terminator Resistance.
I just want to say, like, good on you for holding out and not writing your pick in there on the document all year long.
Oh, no, I forgot.
And then surprising us, I thought it was planned. And that's, yeah, wait, it built up the hype for me.
Nah, I knew it was that pretty much as soon as I played it. I was like, this is. I literally put it on my top 100 games of all time. Like, I knew it as soon as I played it, but it was just, is anything else going to top it? And it didn't happen because I played this year games the rest of the year. But yeah, good fucking game. Next category. Biggest gaming news dedicated to Vince Zampella. Our top 3 stories of the year are number 3, the Stop Killing Games movement. Number 2, the debate of AI in games. And number 1, Giant Bomb goes independent. Shout out to the bombers over there. The next category, Zeitgeist.
Duders is actually the
Duders.
community name for, yeah.
Duders, they're dudes. Like, I'm a dude and she's a dude and he's a dude. We're all dudes. Hey. The next category, Zeitgeist of the year, sponsored by Balatro. The top 3 global phenomenon of the year are Blueprints at number 3, number 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and number 1, Clay Obscure Expedition 33. And the best look, sponsored by Harold Halibut. The top 3 best graphical animation / visual styles are South of Midnight at number 3, Sword of the Sea number 2, and Shooty Robot Invasion at number 1. That was very productive and a very good conversation also. And plus, we didn't go to 3 hours. So good job, everybody. This is probably going to end up being about 2 hours, which is not too bad for a podcast like this. We'll see if we can do it again for the next couple episodes.
Yeah, this one's always the easy one.
Yeah, next episode is gonna be hell.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Plus, one of these we're gonna have to do the
two of the upcoming categories basically are written already.
That's what I'm saying. I might shift things around so that the categories that are easiest, we can kind of stack them up, and also come around to our fantasy critic stuff on that same episode. Or I might make that or I might make that a standalone episode later.
Are we doing fantasy critic again?
Yes, we
I
are.
would like to, but we're beginning to run out of time for us to be able to do that and have it matter. So we should definitely before the end of this month, most likely.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to do that again. Can we spoil who won?
You know what? Here's what I'll do. If we're doing Final Fantasy, good God. We're doing Fantasy Critic this year. There's some changes I want to make, but we'll do it again this year. We need to have a podcast where we need to have at least a segment of a podcast so I can cut it together with something else potentially, where we go over who won and then we do our draft again. We need to have that again.
Yeah.
And that should go out maybe before the Game of the Year stuff or maybe after. But because I'm not sure if it's going out before all the game of the year or after all the game of the year, because of that, let's not spoil who won.
Okay.
But yeah, congratulations to that
Can't believe I
person.
won.
Oh man,
You
I
did
can't
it
believe it was
out.
a 4-way tie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah. Next time we gotta work the math a little bit better. Maybe we'll, I don't know, give more points, have less games, something. In any case, yes, I was surprised that it went the way it went, but also I wasn't very surprised. I was surprised that it didn't turn away from that. But you know,
I'm
the
surprised that
writing was on the
Alan won with
No,
4
spoilers,
games.
spoilers.
Don't spoil it. God damn it. We'll get there. We'll get there. I will say I'm very surprised by some things. We'll get there. We'll
Yes,
get
I'm
there.
surprised that happened.
Oh man.
I'm surprised
Can
that
you
other thing
believe-
happened.
See, the craziest part, I didn't even know Darth Vader was fucking like that. How you got a kid? Anywho. That is it for us on this episode. We're gonna come back with some more game of the year. We're gonna come back with that fantasy critic. I keep wanting to say Final Fantasy critic. Gosh darn it. In any case, that's it for us. Josh, thank you so much for hopping on here.
Oh, thank you for hosting as always.
I love doing it. God damn it. So I'm happy to do it every time. I don't know why I turned into Roman's Revenge at the end. It's fine. Al, thank you for hopping on once again as well.
We gotta do something about those moon bears.
We'll figure
Desmond?
it out. Esmond? What was that?
Desmond the Moon Bear?
I didn't know he had a name.
It's a deep cut.
Deeper than I'm ready to go. I've gone deep enough into Pauline. And Graydon, thank you for hopping on as well.
God. Oh.
You set it up. I knocked it down. I apologize.
Left me speechless. I was gonna say that you better watch out on your high horse because I will usurp your throne and perhaps I will be hosting the podcast next time. But
Damn.
no, you got me. You knocked me right over right there. That was the worst thing you could have possibly said.
Man, sometimes you gotta shut up the naysayers by naying what they saying.
I'm gonna add that bathroom scene to most memorable moment.
It's not, you don't even know what the scene is. Because the scene itself is not that crazy. It's just the context of it. It's like, wow, that's interesting. There are some best moments in that game that we might talk about, though. I might write some stuff in. But for now, that's it for us. I've been Emmett Watkins Jr. on behalf of all the team. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for supporting. We will be back soon. And as I always say, keep it real, keep it trill, and play on, player. Peace out,
Got
y'all.
that game of the year, game of the year, game of the year, game of the year, yeah. Game of the year, game of the year, game of the year, game of the year, yeah. If they shoot